The reflection that wasn't. Sophie sat in front of her vanity, brushing her hair, trying to ignore the feeling of being watched. It was late. The house was quiet, but she couldn't shake the unease. She glanced up at the mirror. Her reflection stared back, calm, composed, almost too calm. She paused. In the reflection, her own face twitched, her fingers froze mid-brush. Her reflection blinked, wrong, a fraction of a second too late. Sophie's breath caught in her throat. She stared harder as the reflection grinned, a wide, unsettling grin that she hadn't made. Her mouth stayed still, but in the mirror it grinned wider. Sophie pulled away, her heart racing. No, 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 she muttered under her breath. The reflection didn't move, still and quiet. She shook her head, willing herself to forget it. But then, it moved, slightly, like it was waiting for her to look again. She turned her back to the mirror. The reflection was always a second too slow. Tap, tap, tap. Her eyes flicked to the mirror once more. The figure behind her was different. It was moving, swaying. It had no eyes, just smooth, featureless skin where its face should have been. It stepped closer, inches from Sophie's back. Sophie's heart slammed in her chest. She didn't want to turn around. She knew it was there, but she had to check. She whipped around. Nothing. Her eyes darted back to the mirror. There, standing behind her reflection, was a dark shape, its outline barely visible in the reflection, almost too still. Look at me. Sophie's body stiffened. She couldn't breathe. Her reflection mouthed the words silently, the smile widening, stretching beyond what was humanly possible. Sophie stepped backward, her hands trembling as she grabbed her phone. When the light from the screen flickered on, the reflection in the mirror mimicked her movements, perfectly synchronized, except it didn't blink. It grinned, and its reflection stepped forward, as if the mirror was no longer a barrier. Sophie froze, but the reflection reached out to touch the glass. No, it reached for her. Before she could scream, her reflection's fingers touched the mirror, and then it gripped the glass with claws, its grin wide and twisted. Sophie backed away as her reflection, smiled, watching her with hollow eyes. The last thing Sophie saw before the darkness swallowed her was the reflection grinning at her, alive.